to make it clear right now, I'm not a game reviewer. I'm this guy who likes sharing his opinions, making funny and interesting videos to hopefully make your day a little bit better. I ain't going to talk about every improvement they've made from the first game, with the web swinging being the best it's ever been, with every thwip and zip across the map. I ain't going to talk about how I love the combat and it makes me feel like Spider-Man. And I ain't going to talk about how much I hate Miles' new haircut, but I think either way we could all agree we hate Miles' new haircut. All I want to talk about is the story and the characters, and how Spider-Man 2 could have been better. On paper, the game sounds perfect, with so many different storylines tying in together. You have Peter struggling with bills, the loss of May, feeling he's not a good enough Spider-Man, and having to cope with the idea of losing his best friend. You have Miles stressing about college, struggling to balance time with being Spider-Man and being Miles Morales, and you also have him getting over what Martin Lee did. You have Harry, obsessed with the idea of making the world a better place, wanting to make his mother proud of him, fighting to get over his sickness. And then you have Kraven, believing he is not worthy of death unless it's by someone worthy of taking his life. He refuses to die surrounded by his family, but chooses to die doing what he loves most. Now imagine if you never played Spider-Man 2. Doesn't that all sound good on paper? But why didn't it work? Why didn't all these interesting characters and plot lines work together? The answer is because it wasn't given enough time to work together. In just a span of 15 hours, you go from beating up Sandman to seeing Harry with the symbiote, to then having the symbiote, to taking it off, and then beating Venom. Now I know it sounds like I skipped over a lot, but that is the brief summary. We never get enough time with almost any of the acts. For example, in Act 1, we finally get to see Harry put on the symbiote himself, but literally one mission later, we already have it given to us. Like, what the fuck? Almost none of the story beats are given any time to really shine or build up. I know Insomniac was really trying to cook up a good story that didn't overstay its welcome and left fans satisfied, and they have proven a game doesn't need to be a 30-hour adventure just to tell a good story, but it can also be a bad story if it understates its welcome. Insomniac clearly had a lot more planned for this game. We have interviews with Tony Todd saying he'll use roughly 10% of his voice lines he recorded, and we also have cut content that was originally supposed to be in the game, but it's nowhere to be seen in the game. We gotta do a glitch just to see what they had planned. I think if Insomniac took more consideration about how they were going to approach the story, we really could have got something special and something better than the first game. With all the storylines and especially having it be a symbiote story, I think the game would have done a better service if they did one of two things. Either have the game be longer, maybe 25 to 30 hours long, more time seeing the symbiote slowly take over Peter and seeing how it affects him and his relationships and how it affects him being Spider-Man. Also having more time to develop Venom as a villain, seeing him grow stronger and build up to the epic final battle. I think another option that is as good, or maybe even better, is probably splitting the game into two parts. Part 1 could focus on Kraven and his motives and building him up more as a villain, although I do think Insomniac did a great job with the time we were given with Kraven. He's probably the best part of the game by far. And I think having a Part 1 game be primarily focused on him, and the last mission either being Peter killing Kraven and showing how the symbiote has fluent... I think having a Part 1 game be primarily focused on him, with the last mission either being Peter killing Kraven and showing how the symbiote influenced him to cross that moral boundary, or the other option would be ending it on the Venom mission. Nothing to really change except that being the final mission and having it be a cliffhanger. Also, as of writing this, I just thought that having that gap would be the perfect opportunity, have that Venom game spinoff leading into the next game and let us know what Venom has been planning and what he's up to. But besides that, Part 2 could pick up right where we left off in the first game, but having it be fully focused on Venom, now that Kraven is, dead. Venom could have multiple encounters, kind of like how it was advertised in the first promotional pictures and some of the trailers, but all lead up to the epic final battle, Peter vs. Harry. Overall, I think the latter would have been a better option, giving Venom time to shine and develop him into a proper and better antagonist. Really would have benefited his character and the entire arc surrounding him. Since I was a kid, I always thought Venom was so cool. I couldn't get enough of Venom. I looked up all the cool Venom pictures on Google, watched every Spider-Man episode that had Venom in it. I even went to see both Venom movies, and no, they aren't good movies, but they're fun movies. That's all that matters. I think Venom is an amazing character. He's a shadow to Spider-Man's Sonic, the Darth Maul to his Obi-Wan, the Romeo to his Juliet. That doesn't make sense. But I felt dissatisfied with him in this game. As much as he is built up in the trailers and promotional material, Venom doesn't really do anything. And what Venom does isn't anything new. Is it nothing special? It's the classic symbiote taking over the city we've seen time and time again, from Web of Shadows to the comic runs, and I think we could all agree we've had enough of it. But even with the flaws of the story, it still drives home the message of what it means to be Spider-Man.
You ever been in love, Spider-Man?
Yeah, I have.
Even the worst Spider-Man media still get the message across of what it means to be Spider-Man. Being Spider-Man means always looking for the good in people, no matter how badly they might have hurt you or how much fucked up things they have done. Being Spider-Man means giving second chances and always extending that hand to people who want to change or need help changing. Being able to help a friend's dying requests. Being the one to help a blind lady find comfort, or being a friend or a shoulder to lean on when nobody wants to listen. Even with a rush story, the emotions do hit, and when they do, they hit hard. Having Miles find comfort and being able to forgive Lee after all he's done, Peter not being able to cope with the loss of Aunt May after all this time, and the possibility of losing his best friend. Even the wholesome moments like Uncle Aaron wanting to change and be closer to his family again. Peter is willing to put up the mask and trust Miles with the city. It really comes down to one thing. I just wish I got more time with these characters. I wish I got more time to see Harry turn into his own hero before succumbing to the darkness. I wish I got more time to see Craven and show what limits he wouldn't go to accomplish his goal. I wish I got more time with Miles and Uncle Aaron, seeing them come closer together again. I wish I got more time to see Venom, what he could have done and what type of threat he really was. I wish I didn't have to see that goofy ass haircut that Miles has. Spider-Man 2 accomplished a lot in a short time, but it could have been so much more if it gave more time to the characters, the world, and the overall story. It did accomplish letting us feel satisfied, but at the same time Insomniac left us wanting more in certain areas, like the story and the side content. Even though this game is far from perfect, it's still amazing. And I think after analyzing it a bit more, I do appreciate what Insomniac made here, and can't wait to see what else they have in store for these Spider-Man and the characters in this universe. Hope you all enjoyed my first video essay. I have many more ideas and many more videos to come. If you have any feedback, if you want to give me, just let me know in the comments. And please like, subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And without further ado, I'll see you on the next one.